Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Now, I have to tell you, this is a slightly different, slightly unusual episode because I want to focus on Trump's superpower when it comes to communication, when it comes to positioning, when it comes to controlling the narrative. You see, Scott Jennings, who's a CNN political commentator and a Republican, talked about what's called as the 80-20 rule. So the way the 80-20 rule goes is if 80% of the people want something, then that's what Trump focuses on. But what he says, Scott Jennings, is that if the Democrats tend to focus on the 20% that nobody cares about, in other words, the Democrats tend to get behind issues that very few people really care about, and that's what gets them in trouble. That's why they have a 31% approval rating. That's why they're just complaining, whereas Trump and the Republicans are pushing forward with their agenda, with their narrative. Now, what's really interesting is that when Trump first burst on to the national scene back in 2016, when he said many disparaging things about Mexicans, when he made immigration a core issue. Remember, until he brought it up, nobody was talking about immigration as a core issue. He talked about the wall. Everybody started talking about the wall. So basically, Trump has been able to control the narrative and get us talking about the things that we are talking about because he started it. Remember, in 2016, it was all about immigration. In 2020, it was obviously about COVID and it was about election interference. Now, the new mantra as far as the Trump administration is concerned at the moment is wasteful government spending, which is where Elon Musk has been essentially asked to take on the role of identifying wasteful spending across all government agencies. And USAID, which is a government agency that essentially allocates US taxpayer dollars for international initiatives, was a target of Trump. Now, keep in mind that Trump and Elon Musk wanted to eliminate wasteful spending, and a lot of Americans, me included, I don't want to waste money. I don't want us to spend money on things that don't help us as Americans. In fact, I've done a separate video on our channel about the wasteful spending from the US government under the Biden administration that was exposed by Elon Musk. A fascinating video clip from Senator John Kennedy from the state of Louisiana. So make sure you check that out on our channel. Make sure you click like, click subscribe, and enable notifications. But back to Scott Jennings. He said that 80% of Americans want to get rid of wasteful government spending, but the Democrats now get behind the 20% of Americans who complain about this, who don't want Trump to behave like a dictator, who complain about the overreach from Trump. But the fact is, if you take a position, which Trump does, that the majority of people want, you get to control the narrative and you get the majority of people on your side. That's what politics is all about. That's what domination is all about. Not just domination of the narrative, but domination in social media, domination of media in general. And that's what Scott Jennings talked about. And in fact, I think that Trump has been, on the back foot for so long. Remember, he lost the presidency in 2020. I'm actually going to show you a fascinating clip towards the end of this video. So make sure you watch the video all the way through to the end. That shows you that if someone is playing a game and they are on defense, they can suddenly go on offense when they take control of the narrative. You'll see what I mean. Make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. But first, let's watch this clip from Scott Jennings explaining what I call Trump's superpower. Let's watch.
He's describing what is currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every 80-20 issue in America. USAID, people want this pared down. They want it streamlined. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why.
I don't know. So that's the big secret as far as Donald Trump is concerned. That's Trump's superpower. And speaking of superpowers, I want you to watch this clip. I think of Trump as the player at the bottom of the screen in the clip you're about to watch, and Biden as the player at the top of the screen. I want you to watch how the game evolves and how one side, which was on defense, I'm not gonna spoil it too much for you. But I want you to watch this, and this to me is an example of coming from a defensive position and assuming an offensive position by taking control of the narrative and then making 80% of the people support you and your position. Let's roll the tape and watch this fascinating clip. This is ping pong or table tennis, as some might call it. Let's roll the tape and watch. So that's it, everyone. Let me know what you think of Trump's superpower, controlling the narrative with the 80-20 rule. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda. I'm your citizen journalist. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.